Before we get into the stories, make sure you hit like and subscribe to History Reborn Alive, because everything you're about to hear is designed to sharpen your instincts as a historian, a researcher, and a survival-minded thinker who wants to understand how deception shapes the world. What we're talking about today isn't just entertainment, it's a toolkit. These 33 cases show the patterns, the warning signs, and the psychology behind how entire populations end up believing outright lies. Let's get into it. Let's start with how master liars gain trust long before they deliver the lie. The greatest historical deceivers didn't begin with outrageous claims. They started small by building credibility. Take Gregor MacGregor, the man who sold British investors a fictional Central American country called Poyais. He didn't walk into London announcing a fake utopia. He spent years constructing a reputation as a decorated soldier and noble. The lie worked because people believed the man before they ever questioned the message. For you as a historian, this is the first lesson. Whenever studying a source, ask how the liar built their platform, not just how they delivered the lie. Apply this by tracing the individual's biography leading up to the deception. If the rise seems too convenient, it usually is. We can see the same blueprint in the political liars who shaped empires. Consider Rasputin, whose influence in the Russian royal court was built on the simple fact that he appeared useful. His supposed healing powers over the Tsarevich gave him leverage. The lie wasn't the miracle. The lie was the cultivated aura of chosen mystic. When studying political deception, track usefulness before ideology. People follow those who solve a problem, even if the solution isn't real. This matters today because propaganda often hides behind a problem-solver narrative. When researching modern sources, evaluate the claimed solution before the claimed authority. Some liars succeed because their stories are built on pre-existing desires. Take Charles Ponzi, whose scheme worked because people wanted fast returns. Or Mary Toft, who convinced English doctors she was giving birth to rabbits because they wanted to believe they had discovered a medical phenomenon that proved their theories. In historical analysis, always evaluate the audience's desire. A liar doesn't create belief, they exploit it. To apply this, whenever you encounter a widely accepted historical falsehood, identify the public emotion attached to it: fear, hope, nationalism, or greed. Religious impostors show how charisma, not doctrine, wins converts. Consider Sabbatai Zevi, who convinced thousands he was the Jewish Messiah. His followers ignored contradictions, failures, and even his eventual conversion to Islam. What they believed wasn't the theology, but the hope he represented. Or look at Hong Xiuquan, who claimed he was the brother of Jesus and plunged China into the Taiping Rebellion. Studying these movements shows how personal conviction, even if delusional, can overshadow logic. For researchers, this reinforces the importance of documenting primary reactions. Belief is often more emotional than rational, and knowing this helps decode why lies persist even after being disproven. Fraudulent explorers reveal how ambition can overpower truth in the historical record. Take the Zeno brothers of Venice, whose fabricated exploration maps influenced real cartographers for centuries, or the infamous Admiral Byrd rumour that he found a hollow earth, a lie that still circulates. Explorer, hoaxes thrive because people crave new frontiers. When reading exploration reports, verify the logistics. Ask whether the described journey was physically possible with the tools, ships, or manpower available. This turns you from a passive reader into an analytical investigator. Some of history's biggest liars use science to mask their deception. Gregor Mendel's P data may be the most famous example of numbers that were simply too perfect to be true. Hwang Woo-suk in South Korea fabricated stem cell cloning results that fooled the global scientific community. And Piltdown Man, the forged human skull, misled evolutionary science for decades. Scientific lies work because they hide behind jargon. When you evaluate a scientific claim in historical texts, look at replication. If nobody could repeat the results, that's your warning sign. You can apply this instantly when reading any source. Ask whether anyone else validated it. Financial liars, they have a knack for turning complexity into a weapon, don't they? Take Enron's leadership, for instance. Those executives use deliberately confusing accounting to hide their losses while projecting an image of success. It's not a new trick, mind you. Back in the 1700s, the South Sea bubble promoters did something quite similar. They made their business model so complicated that common investors couldn't possibly dissect it. You see, if a financial claim is too complex for the public to understand, but still promises huge rewards, well, you should treat it with a healthy dose of suspicion. As a historian, my advice is to trace the money flow, not the promises. A simple step, really, is to follow expenditures and outcomes rather than just declared intentions. Now, when it comes to military deception, it's fascinating how lying isn't always seen as immoral. It can be strategic, you know. Take Operation Fortitude during the Second World War. The Allies, quite cleverly, created a phantom army with fake tanks, false radio chatter, and even a non-existent invasion force commanded by none other than Patton. This grand lie helped win D-Day. But on the darker side of things, leaders like Saddam Hussein intentionally lied about possessing weapons of mass destruction to intimidate neighbours, which, unfortunately, ended up triggering a real war. Studying military lies requires us to separate tactical deception from ideological propaganda. When analysing any conflict, it's crucial to ask whether a lie was used to strengthen defence, manipulate populations, or provoke action. Cultural liars succeed by rewriting stories until they become tradition. Take, for example, the story of Prester John, a fictional Christian king whose imaginary kingdom shaped European exploration for centuries. Or consider George Salmanazar, the Frenchman who pretended to be from Formosa and convinced Europe of bizarre customs he just invented. These liars didn't deceive with force, they deceived with narrative. When studying cultural myths, it's crucial to track how stories evolve, not just where they came from. Compare early versions to later versions to reveal the distortions that, over time, grew into so-called fact. And finally, the most successful liars weaponize confidence. From Elizabeth Holmes selling non-existent biotech to Frank Abagnale forging checks and identities, the backbone of every one of these 33 liars is unwavering confidence. They presented their lies as self-evident truths, and society accepted them because, well, confidence feels like competence. As a historian or researcher, confidence should never be the metric of truth. Your safeguard is verification. Your strength is cross-checking. Your edge is skepticism without cynicism. Every one of these liars left a trail that can be studied, dissected, and used to strengthen your own critical judgment. Apply these patterns to your research, your reading, and even your daily life. Deception leaves fingerprints, and once you learn to see them, you stop being the audience and start becoming the analyst. If you found this guide useful, make sure you like the video and subscribe to History Reborn Alive for more deep, uncompromising historical analysis. Share this with someone who loves history as much as you do, and I'll see you in the next investigation.